by cops in Homewood, Alabama on June 23rd. Police claim that Jabari reached for a gun during a scuffle over marijuana possession, but his family says that simply is not true. A witness says that Jabari was unarmed and shot in the back. Now, for 2 nights, protesters have filled the streets in Homewood, Alabama, calling for justice and the release of the officer's body cam footage. The family's attorney has filed a petition requesting that a judge make the evidence public, but the authorities say releasing that video could hinder their investigation. Joining us now is civil rights attorney Leroy Maxwell Jr., representing the people's family. So, Leroy, we've done these stories 1,000 times before. And when the video exonerates the police, they are real quick to drop the video, but they're saying that it's going to hinder the investigation. I'm confused how. It either shows us what happened or it doesn't.
I agree with you, Roland, and I appreciate you having us on. You're right. Typically, whenever these things happen, and you know as well as I do, they release the videos right away with a sense of urgency to clear their officers. But in this situation, the family's demanding it, the community's demanding it. Everyone's demanding the video because we kind of have an idea what's going to happen. And I think what they're doing right now is preparing for the backlash.
Okay, so I laid out the story here. So what happened? Where did they stop him? Why did they stop him? Just explain to us what actually took place.
Right. So what we know right now is that this young man, Jabari Peoples, 18-year-old, recent graduate from high school, was in a suburban white neighborhood. It's a suburb of Birmingham, Alabama, which is typically a black city, but we have suburbs around there. And so he was in a suburban area, Homewood, probably 80% white population. He was there visiting with his girlfriend who recently graduated from high school, about to start University of Alabama. And they were hanging out at a local spot where most of the teenagers hang out, the Homewood soccer park. They were approached by officers. Officer claimed that he smelled marijuana, had a discussion about marijuana with the girlfriend. Nothing about Jabari and marijuana. But he pulled him out of the car, put him up against the car, and that's when things started getting real funny and murky. At some point, we know there was a tussle. The girlfriend takes off running, and one shot was fired, all right? And so we don't know what happened, but we know a couple things. According to the girlfriend, she had never seen Jabari with a gun. He was never armed. And afterwards, when the officer set her beside his bleeding body, did not see a gun at all. The next thing we know from looking at the body, having our investigators taking hundreds of photos, our own investigation, we know that there was one shot, and that was Jabari being shot in the back in the left lower quadrant. That was the only shot, no exit wound whatsoever. And then the third thing is that we know that there are surveillance cameras and body cam footage on the actual officer. Those are the items that are going missing. So what we have right now is witnesses saying he was unarmed, he was shot in the back, he's dead, he should be alive today. And then the third missing part of it is the actual video of what happened. And that's what the law enforcement's refusing to release at this point. And it doesn't make sense unless they're trying to cover something up.
All right, so when you say the video has gone missing, what does that mean?
Oh, well, not necessarily missing the video. We know where the video is. We know that Homewood City Police have the video. We know Alabama Law Enforcement Agency had the video. They're just refusing to allow us to view it. And so right now there's some bad laws on the books that allow Alabama law enforcement agencies to withhold evidence if they think it's an ongoing investigation. Now, we know, ongoing or not, in these situations, police always release the body cam footage if it's exonerating. If it's dispositive in their favor, they let it out. But we also know when it goes the other way around, they hold on to it. And I think that's what's going on here. We filed in court. We've made our demands. We just filed a pleading yesterday. So we expect to have our day in court and get this information immediately.
And so, first of all, we've done so many of these stories beforehand. When you talk about these laws in these states, they have requirements. In fact, you got Republicans who have been trying to pass other laws in other states that restrict the release of any footage, regardless of a situation. And some even compel a judge to sign an order for the video to be released.
Right, and Alabama is one of those states as well. We recently had some legislation pass, essentially said the family, whenever there's a police-involved shooting, the family has the right to access and to view the body cam footage. However, that access is denied if there's an ongoing investigation. It does not allow access to the media. It does not allow for a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, to see the video. It basically puts a ton of restrictions on it, but has a small little caveat that says a family can view a video, but then has a rule of 15, 20 reasons why they cannot. And it's easy for them to enforce that anytime they want. And on top of that, Alabama's one of the states that just passed one of those additional immunity bills that not only give officers qualified immunity, state agent immunity. Now there's an extra level of protection of immunity that they have in these sort of incidents. So in Alabama, we have one of those double whammy states where on the surface, they give you the idea that, hey, family could look at it. But in reality, all the bill does is codify exactly what it is that you cannot do and what it is the officers can use to prevent the family from actually watching the footage.
I used to pay Midjourney monthly. Now I use this AI for a one-time cost and unlimited designs.
You said he was a recent high school graduate,
Yeah.
and he's in this. He was visiting his girlfriend. Had there been any previous issues with police in Homewood?
Yeah, so Homewood has a long string of incidents. This area, like I said, these suburban areas around there. I think what Black folks got to understand is that even when we're in these situations, when we feel comfortable, we're actually still behind enemy lines. And the reality is they don't want us there, all right? Whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's our sons, 18-year-old to 65-year-old, they don't want us there. If this was a young white boy and hanging out with his friends in his baseball uniform, they wouldn't have bothered him. But because of who he is and what he looked like, they initiated an engagement with him that was completely unnecessary. And even if his girlfriend did have marijuana on her, that doesn't lead to a death sentence. Jabari was someone's son, someone's brother, friend, bright future, wanted a future in law enforcement himself. He worked security at one of the major hospitals in the state of Alabama. So he had nothing but respect for the law. But no matter how much respect he had for them, it wasn't returned on to him. And we always pray that our sons make it back home. And he was one that didn't make it back home, and it was senseless.
Obviously, because of what you just described, you said this Homewood is a largely white suburb. I have to ask the question: girlfriend, she African American or she white?
She was African American. This was a dynamic.
So this wasn't a.
Yeah.
This wasn't a situation of a white girl and then a white cop, black boy. Wasn't anything like that. That's why I was asking the question.
No, it wasn't that situation. This is a black couple minding their own business out there in a park where teenagers often are. If you go to the park right now, it's littered with teenagers hanging out as teenagers do. School's out, or if it's a Friday night or school's out, they hang out in parking lot. Not doing anything wrong. If officers wanted to arrest every single kid or bother every single kid that hung out in the parking lot, enjoying their time, enjoying their summer, the prisons would be full of folks. But they don't do that because it doesn't make sense. This was a black couple enjoying themselves. But even when we try to, enjoy ourselves or be to ourselves, they won't let us be.
Whole lot to unpack here. Black Lives Matter grassroots, they've been protesting. They reached out to me to talk about their involvement as well. So you really have a lot of intensity going here from people demanding justice.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of movement here. We're blessed to have the support of Black Lives Matter, other organizations who have stepped up and stepped in for the family. And really, we're doing everything we can. And I appreciate all the protesters, all the activists who are involved with this, because all too often it's just the families and the lawyers trying to fight this thing out. But we're in a really good situation right now with a lot of support, and we're moving boots on the ground, trying to make something happen.
All right, then. We surely appreciate you joining us. Keep us updated what happens next in this case.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate you.
Hello,